Do you ever feel stuck in the rat race? Life doesn't have to be that way if you're willing to put in the work. In Bigger Vision, Chris Garrison helps you discover the keys to abundance, freedom, and personal growth that let you live the life of your dreams. And now, here's your host, Chris Garrison.
So what should I do to make the most money? This is a question I hear people ask often. This is a question that I've even asked often to mentors and coaches. I was on a coaching call with my mentor, Mark Evans, DM, his group coaching call in the DM Alliance. And we do this every Wednesday at 11 Eastern. And one of the guys said, what vehicle is the best vehicle to choose for revenue? And so Mark's response was, well, what are you interested in doing? Like, do you know what you like? And I thought it really made me start thinking about how good of a question that was, because I've never really heard an amazing answer for that. So I thought I would do a podcast about this and just kind of shoot off the cuff some of the questions that I feel like should surround that question that's presented so many times of what vehicle should I jump in? What business, what job should I tackle to create the most revenue? And one of the first questions I think you should be looking at is, where is your current skill sets at? What do you know? If you've worked at all, there's some type of skill set you have. I mean, are you a good communicator? Do you know how to sell? Do you understand marketing, digital marketing? Do you understand network marketing? Do you have a particular skill set, maybe like HVAC service, plumbing, IT, so that you know how to work on computers and write code? You know, what do you know? So that's a great place to start, because now you've got a foundation of a skill set. And to be able to provide value, you've got to have some type of skill set to bring to the marketplace, something that someone else doesn't have or doesn't want to do. So start with that question of, what skills do you know? Then the next thing I would ask is, with those skills, if you bring it to the marketplace, does the marketplace have a demand for it, and is it scalable? Or are you going to hit a ceiling to the point to where you max out and it can only grow so much? So let's say that you do lawn care and you're in a population of only 10,000 people. Well, there's only so many people within this 10,000 population. This is a very small community that's going to pay for lawn care. So you're going to have to get outside of this town to be able to expand. And more than likely, the revenue of each household is not going to be very much. So the people that can afford to hire out their lawn care is going to be even smaller percentage within that community. So that's another question. What does your market look like? And is there a demand for it? And is it scalable within that market? Another thing is you might want to sit there and figure out what is currently provided in your market as a service or a product that's subpar. Where do you hear people complain? I can think about, the trades community right now. So many people talk about how they just can't get anyone to call them back. No one will show up and perform the service. And that speaks that people don't have a professional level to give to the consumer so that they enjoy the experience. And also, more than likely, these people are overwhelmed with work. That's why there's not a focus based on customer service side. So they'll pick, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs, get them started, leave without communication for a few days, and then show back all of a sudden next week to do a little bit more work. And they just keep these 4 or 5 jobs moving, which obviously is going to make the consumer upset. So what does your marketplace look like? Is there a demand for it? And then where does there need to be improvement in current product or services that's offered in that marketplace? And the very first one, though, should have been, what skill set are you sitting on? Because that's a great foundation to start building off of. The other questions behind the question of what vehicle is going to allow me to produce the most revenue is you need to really start seeking out where you think you might want to be based off of your current skill set, and do a discovery phase like an attorney would on a court case to see what kind of margins are in this field. There are a few things that I've picked up along my journey that do create more revenue and also are more sellable because they're more desirable from individuals that are looking to purchase revenue streams, aka businesses. So monthly reoccurring revenue is a great business model. An example of a monthly reoccurring revenue is a membership. So let's look at a gym. Gyms have monthly memberships. Typically, they have like an upfront enrollment fee, gives them a little boost in revenue, and then they have a lower monthly reoccurring subscription that automatically pulls out of a bank account or off of a credit card. You sit and sell one time and get paid over and over again. You also see this in insurance. If I had to go back and start over again, I would have jumped into the insurance side of things. I was specifically the Medicare and the life insurance. But I haven't really seen any insurance models that are not great. So insurance is the same thing. You sit there and you sell it one time and you get monthly residual income from that customer as long as they're a policy holder, and you get a portion of that premium. But the Medicare, the healthcare, and the life insurance, those are a higher portion and percentage that you get of those premiums and those sales. That's why I think that's a great model. Another aspect to look at is equipment rental. So we even have this in our disaster cleanup company. When I go into a water disaster and we go to, let's say your pipes bust in your home and we're extracting water to finish the dry out of your home. So we leave equipment, drying equipment. So you'll know them as fans. We call them air movers in our industry, but we set fans out. We set dehumidifiers out. There's other specialty type drying equipment that we're going to set out. And this equipment is clicking every day a rental rate. So let's say $30 for a fan, per fan. And I might set out 20 fans. So that would be 20 times 30 for that one day. And typically this equipment's going to sit on site for 3 to 5 days to dry out most structures. So this is another great model to produce revenue because my guys go in and our team executes in labor for the first day, and then the equipment is producing income for the business every subsequent day after that. So these are things that you want to look at. This is something that you would discover in your research on the industry that you're looking to plug yourself into. That vehicle that you're trying to discover, is this going to be a vehicle that produces a lot of revenue for me? So if I was looking to get into the restaurant industry, the food service industry, then I would want to sit there and research and pull up and ask Google, what are the margins? What are the P&Ls for the food service industry? What do the profit margins look like? What type of hours and what do CEOs make? What do general managers make? These are all different types of questions. The great thing about where we are today with technology is you can find almost anything that you want to know about. Between the internet and hopping on YouTube and getting video tutorials of information, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to find and discover whatever you're trying to understand better. So this goes back to the question, what vehicle is the best vehicle to be in to produce the most income? Start with your skill set that you currently have, because that's a great foundation to start on. If you don't, then I would point you in the direction of sales. Anything where you can drive leads is going to make you a great living. And depending on what industry you get in and how you set up your position in that industry is going to determine how well you get paid. So if there's any skill set that I would say starting fresh for you to master, it would be sales. And it's just communication. Okay? I would want to learn how to generate leads. I would learn how to generate leads in a digital aspect. So how do you email market? How do you SMS text blast? How do you write copy for your email marketing? How do you direct mail? How do you pull list so that you can get people's information to contact and cold call? These are all avenues, ways of being able to market and produce leads. Once you have leads, you literally don't even need to have the skill set of the service or own the product. You can literally plug in to a business and funnel those leads into them and get paid. That would be my number one thing. Learn how to be an expert lead generator. And that's what I plan on teaching my kids, is how to be an expert lead generator. Once you're an expert lead generator, the next thing is I would consider insurance industry very highly, because there's a lot of money there. And people will always need health insurance. That's something that's going to stick with us. That's something that is recession proof. Even the government covers and pays for health insurance. And those that are writing Medicare policies are able to capitalize on that. I hope this gets your wheels turning, because the resources and information are out there for you to discover and go down your journey to find out what vehicles are going to produce the most revenue for you. Because being the coal miner is not the vehicle to produce the most revenue. There definitely is businesses and jobs that are going to provide a better lifestyle and financial freedom than others. So research, if you don't have a skill set yet, then research in those areas of lead generation. Because if you can bring customers to a company, you can get paid for those customers. If you've already got a skill set, then start with your current skill set and find out how you can utilize that skill set and plug it in. Start asking those questions to see what kind of margins, what kind of profits you will be able to make if it's a business, what type of revenue you would be able to make if you come in as an employee. And many times you can be a self-employed person, like when it comes to the lead generation portion. If you know how to create ClickFunnels and you know how to market and work the algorithms of Google and all of these other search engine platforms, you can literally capture these databases of customers, funnel them into businesses, and you're your own person working off your own time and literally get paid by the businesses as a subcontractor, as an independent contractor, without having to come in as a W-2 team employee marketer for a big corporation. There's endless possibility, but you've got to go through the discovery phase to figure out if you are going down the correct path that's going to pay you most. And the goal is to increase this cash flow, this revenue at such a rapid rate and over your need of living, so that you can start to invest in assets. Because that is the 1-2 punch of financial freedom and creating wealth. Take your current cash flow, plug it into appreciating assets. Take your current cash flow and plug it into appreciating assets. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you are able to take this information and really start to make massive growth into your life. If you want to plug in to a business Facebook group, then check out Blue Collar Millionaire, where me and Kevin Marin and Mark Evans DM have partnered up and decided to produce a ton of free information about how to find businesses, negotiate businesses, acquire those businesses, scale them, and then sell them for multi-million-dollar lifts in your financial situation. We also have a paid-for group called The War Room. This is where we're going to have every Thursday at 11 Eastern, we get on the Zoom call with those members and we dissect the deals they have. We dissect the businesses they have. We inject ideas of how they can acquire other businesses to bolt on to their current businesses so that they can scale faster and take it to the marketplace quicker, or they can just sit on it and enjoy a massive cash flow. Whatever the case is, the point and the goal is to create more cash flow for you so that you can buy more appreciating assets and you can increase your lifestyle and change your family tree financially. Until next time, let's grow together and live in success.
This is the podcastfactory.com.